in the Business Spotlight on News Talk 94.7 and 970 WMAY. It is another Friday, and it's another local first business. And this time, it's the Habitat for Humanity resale store. And you've known them in the old Furrows, and then I believe for a while it was Incredible Pizza. And they're definitely on 6th Street, new digs, at least fairly new digs the last 3-4 years or so. Lance is with us, and so is Shane here. Well, Lance is going to do most of the talking here. So, Lance, first of all, tell everybody who still might not be familiar with the Habitat for Humanity resale store.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Basically exactly what you said. We're at 2744 South 6th Street. We've been there, I think we're coming on maybe a little more than 2 years. Bigger building, it's blue, you can't miss it. We've been taking in more donations monthly, and I think the word's getting out. It takes a while for any business when they move. People get adjusted and whatnot, but it seems like it's finally resonating through the community.
Yeah, I think that people really have a good idea of what Habitat for Humanity does. Obviously, they understand the sweat equity and the putting people into homes after they learn to build homes and things like that. It's really cool. But I don't think a lot of people understand what they can find at the resale store. And the situation is, usually when you guys get donations, sometimes you can't use them, or sometimes they're just a little too many, or wwhatever. What kind of things can people find, I guess, at the resale store?
You'd be surprised. I mean, we had a 9-foot entertainment center come in. I think it was retailed at $10,000. We've had, and of course, that's the extreme. And we get furniture, couches, chairs, cabinets, doors. I mean, pretty much anything that you need to, maybe you're doing a project and you just need a piece of drywall. Well, you can find that here instead of buying a whole piece of drywall, cutting it for the piece you need, and then scrapping it. So we may not be your last stop, but definitely, we like to become people's first stop. And, whenever they're doing house projects and whatnot.
We're talking about... I'm sorry.
I was going to say, Chris, I think sometimes, too, ReStore, they're not sure what ReStore means, sure, or what's in the ReStore. And ReStore is Habitat's name for that A to Z store that you'll find anything in.
Yeah, absolutely. We get flooring on a monthly basis. That way we always have a consistent supply. That way people know anytime they are to come in, they're going to see new flooring once a month. And I think that helps, with people, landlords, and people who flip houses and whatnot, keeps them coming in as well.
Lance and Shane are with us from the Habitat Humanity ReStore on News Talk 94.7 and 970 WMAY. Of course, very familiar building on 6th Street for the last couple of years, big blue building, talking about that. Now, we mentioned the fact about the mission and the fact that building the houses. So when you're looking at things at the resale store, is it always new, or can people donate things to it, or how does that work?
Yeah, in fact, mostly everything is, donated from people's projects at home. Maybe they're redoing their bathroom, and we'll get their sink and their toilet and their vanity, and we sell that at a discount price, and then that money provides a profit for all of our other programs. So that money goes toward building houses, building handicap ramps, and stuff like that.
Yeah, very cool. And one of the things that I noticed that you guys had a push on before was the fact that when people do new cabinetry in their kitchens and things like that, you urge people to not, if they can, to take that cabinetry down and keep it intact as much as possible, because that cabinetry may not work for you at this time, but it might work perfectly for somebody in a Habitat home.
Chris, I'm so glad you brought that up. We actually have a new program. It's called the Deconstruction Program. And so if you're a do-it-yourself, if you're going to do your cabinets yourself, you can actually call us in advance, and we'll have volunteers come out to your house, and we will take out the cabinets for you. at no charge. You get a donation slip. We take the cabinets away, and then that way you have a fresh start. You didn't have to worry about, messing up the cabinets or anything like that.
That is new. That's great. I mean, because when you're talking about demo, a lot of people do that themselves as part of the sweat equity in a remodeling project. If you guys are willing to do it as long as you get the cabinets, that's huge.
Yeah, we just... we need. It's very new. In fact, we haven't launched it yet. But if anybody's willing to give us, the time and flexibility, we're more than willing to give it a go.
Are there other things too that people, not necessarily you guys are willing to help with the cabinets, but maybe other demolition projects that the people do on their own? Is there anything else you can find salvage that normally people would just crush up with a sledgehammer?
The deconstruction program is not new for other habitats. A lot of them have been around for 5, maybe 10 years, and got a lot of input from them. And they say, 95% of the time you're going to have kitchen remodels as your number one and best bang for the buck type of deal. So, but yeah, I mean, if someone's ripping out a bathroom, we'll check it out, or
there might be old doors.
Yeah, absolutely.
There might be structural, different structural knickknacks. The windows might be older and ornate and whatnot that might be worth salvaging. So those salvage pieces too that they may not have any use for, but for Pinterest, when you're talking about Pinterest and really cool pieces of furniture and that kind of thing, and the projects that you can create. I mean, Habitat too gets new overstock items from businesses. So when businesses are cleaning out their warehouses and things like that, a lot of times they'll call us and say, hey, we've got these items. So it's new and old, and looking forward kind of at Pinterest and shopping for those treasures, because we've got a lot of what I call those treasure makers. So you may not be talented and feel like you can repaint this bureau to the color and scope of what your project requires, but there are artists and businesses in town that will. And so we've got those treasure makers shopping our place too. And it might be that you stop in and see, oh, that's what I'm looking for. I've got to call, Joe Schmo and tell him this is what I want and it's here, and I'll pick it up and he'll redo it for me.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. If my dad were around today, he'd be like living at your place, because it's like that's exactly what my dad was all about. Finding these little things the kitschy things that he might have been looking for in his head 5 years ago, and all of a sudden it just pops up and you have the perfect piece for your project.
And it truly is a treasure hunt. And as Lance said too, I mean, if an older home is coming down instead of being able to be saved or whatever, there might be pieces within that would be perfect for deconstruction. And if you've got a contractor coming in who's tearing out your kitchen, instead of putting those all in the dumpster, stack them up, get them in the garage. We'll either pick them up or they can bring them in. A lot of contractors do work with us and bring those items into us after a day's work. They load them up into their trailer and come through our easy, cheesy donation ramp and say, okay, guys, unload, and take the receipt and go.
Yeah, exactly.
So it just makes it easier for everybody.
Yeah, in fact, I think they would even prefer to donate them, just because the simple fact that we unload them for them, whereas they would be throwing it in a dumpster by hand or whatever. They come to our donation center. Yeah, and you guys
do the lifting.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's very cool. Listen,
more than happy to do so.
And again, everything is going back to help Habitat for Humanity, build homes and hope throughout Sangamon County.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's where, if you make purchases, if you donate, if you, it's all going back to building throughout our community.
And what are the hours for the ReStore?
It is Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 6, and Saturday, 10 to 5.
And finally, why is it so important to join a group like Local First?
Well, Local First the name says it all. It's local. It's supporting our community. It's building into our community. And there are so many wonderful, strong businesses throughout Sangamon County that we need to know more about. And I think that Local First really links all of those pieces together and makes us stronger here in Sangamon County.
Yeah.
And in Springfield, just
definitely
unites us.
Yeah, I want to piggyback off that. Local First makes it easy to network with other small businesses around the area. I mean, it's not, you can't compare it to anything else. It's great.
And
Exactly.
it's that sustainability too, and knowing what each of us offers. You know, it's a great problem solver too, so that maybe you come up with some sort of idea, or you have overstart, who knows what, but you can reach out to other businesses and get the support you need and get questions answered. And
Terrific.
it's wonderful for shopping and for support.
It really is. Lance and Shane, thank you very much. Habitat for Humanity ReStore on 6th Street is our business of the week here on the Local First angle of the Business Spotlight. Thank you so much for your time, you guys. We appreciate it. On
Thanks
News
for
Talk
having us.
94.7 and 970 WMAY. Coming up next, Mike Windmacher has a look at the sports.